Wrestling is built on energy, excitement, and the belief that anything can happen. But lately, that feeling is fading. WWE's main event scene doesn't feel fresh anymore, it feels familiar. Too familiar. When you look at WWE's top stars, you notice a pattern. Most of them are in their late 30s, or well into their 40s. And that raises a question. Is WWE depending on aging stars instead of building the future? Roman, Cody, Punk, Brock Lesnar, Seth Rollins? Legends, yes. Talented? Absolutely. But they're no longer the future. They're the past, still being used to hold up the present. WWE always says it's a youth movement, but where is it? Because the spotlight still belongs to the veterans. The new era sometimes looks a lot like the old era with different lighting. At one point, WWE's roster used to feel like it had levels. Rookies, rising stars, mid-carders, main eventers. Now, it feels like everyone under 35 is stuck waiting in line behind guys who've been around for decades. It's not about disrespecting legends. Wrestling needs veterans. They are the foundation. The problem is when they become the ceiling, when their presence means younger talent never get the chance to rise. Look at the Royal Rumble winners over the last few years. How many were under 30, or even under 35? WWE keeps giving big moments to people who already had their era long ago. Instead of creating the next Cena, WWE keeps calling back the stars from Cena's era. Instead of building a new Lesnar, they just bring back the same old faces to try and revive the hype. Every time a legend returns, it pops the ratings. But every time a legend returns, a young wrestler loses TV time. And over time, that creates a generation of talent that never gets elevated. So here's the real question of this video. Is WWE recycling the past instead of building the future? WWE needs to ask itself something very important. What happens when the legends can't wrestle anymore? What happens when the 40-plus roster finally slows down? Who's next? Because right now, the answer doesn't look clear, and that's the problem. WWE has spent so much time relying on older names, they forgot to prepare for the next generation. There are young stars ready, but they barely get the same spotlight. LA Knight is over, but he's 41, Damian Priest, 42, Finn Balor, 43. These aren't rising stars, they're already near the end of their prime. If WWE wants a real new era, they need to take risks, they need to let young wrestlers fail, and then rebuild them. That's how stars are created, that's how Cena, Orton, Batista, and Brock were made. Right now, WWE has the tools, but not the vision. The talent is there, but the company is scared to let them lead. And that's why the product sometimes feels stale. If WWE keeps relying on veterans, one day they'll look around and realize there's nobody left to carry the future. The legacy will end with this generation, and that would be a massive failure. The best eras in wrestling were built on youth, energy, and change. The Attitude Era, the Ruthless Aggression Era, they didn't wait for the future. They created it. It doesn't need to get rid of legends. They just need to pass the torch properly. They need to use the veterans to elevate, not dominate. The main event scene should not be a retirement home. It should be a battlefield where tomorrow's stars are forged. And right now, it feels like the past is refusing to step aside. So that's the challenge I leave with WWE today. Stop depending on the stars who already made history and start building the ones who will create the next era. Because the future of wrestling is waiting. The question is, will WWE give it a chance?